Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 30th, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. It's looking like rain and thunderstorms are expected in DFW for most of the day. We'll see a lot of them between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. North Texas homebuilders are bracing for the impact of Trump administration tariffs at an already challenging time for the real estate industry. We'll hear more, but first, let's get into today's news. Texans can no longer buy lottery tickets through third-party courier services. The Texas Newsroom's Nina Banks reports the Texas Lottery Commission yesterday unanimously voted to ban couriers.
Courier services allow customers to purchase lotto tickets without stepping into a store. This has called into question the service's legality. Several investigations into jackpots won with tickets from couriers are currently pending. Governor Greg Abbott asked the Texas Rangers to lead those investigations in February. Mark Franz is one of the 4 Texas Lottery commissioners. Initially, he voted against the ban, but
weighing the evidence and all, I'm persuaded that this is the right move to go forward and that we should do the maximum amount allowable under our current statute.
Effective immediately, the Texas Lottery Commission has the power to revoke the license of any businesses still using these services. I'm Nina Banks in Austin.
The Texas Senate has passed a bill aimed at clarifying when doctors can perform life-saving emergency abortions under the state's near-total abortion ban. Senate Bill 31 would make language defining a medical emergency consistent across the state's various abortion statuses. The measure would also put the burden of proof on the state when a doctor is accused of violating abortion laws. The bill passed unanimously, but Sarah Eckhart of Austin was among the Democrats disappointed at not including provisions for pregnancies that involve lethal fetal anomalies.
If your pregnancy falls outside of this politically determined exception, you are on your own.
SB 31 now goes to the House, where a version of the bill is pending in committee. North Texas homebuilders are bracing for the impact of Trump administration tariffs at an already challenging time for the real estate industry. The Dallas Business Journal's Seth Bodine sat down with KERA's Bekah Morr to discuss how developers are planning for a future that's still very uncertain.
So, Seth, these tariffs are still shifting with President Trump's 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs in place now. Have homebuilders started to see any impacts yet?
Well, they're starting to get bills. Basically, a lot of home builders rely on contractors to get their supply, say the lumber yard. And it's true that lumber is exempt from these tariffs, but home builders are sort of scrambling to see how much of their costs they're going to have to absorb. So they're getting basically bills or letters from contractors saying like, hey, we don't really want to raise prices. We know things are difficult, but we've been notified. We're anticipating these increases.
I'm curious, is there going to be any kind of impact beyond the higher cost of materials and the supply shortage that could come as a result of these tariffs? Is there anything else home builders are worried about right now?
Home builders are very focused on selling homes right now. Home builders are having a challenge because the spike of inflation, so prices are higher, mortgages cost more. That means that buyers are hesitant or they just can't buy a home because it's too expensive. So they're really focused on selling homes. What that means for buyers is that new home builders will often offer incentives like mortgage rate buy down. So if it's at 7%, maybe they can get it down to 4%. So some of these home builders have sort of pitched it as, maybe it's a really good time to buy a home, but, that could just be their spin on it, of course.
Yeah, just trying to get them sold. And I don't think we can have this conversation without also mentioning this kind of double whammy of tariffs plus the threat of mass deportations under this administration and how that kind of plays into the trouble that home builders are facing. Is there any indication of a labor shortage or how badly that industry will be hurt by some of these harsher immigration policies?
people are in a mode of wait and see. A lot of businesses in general have told me that we can't really make any predictions because we're literally just waiting for a policy to stick. But when it comes to immigration, it's a huge part of the equation when we talk about, building an actual structure. Texas AFL-CIO estimated that about 70% of construction workers are foreign-born and 50% are undocumented. So
pretty
if we
significant.
start putting that equation together, it's going to make an impact.
And what did experts have to say about how all this might impact real estate here in North Texas?
So North Texas is full of big warehouses. If we look beyond even homes, we're talking big logistics centers where trucks unload and load on goods, everything from food to supplies. I mean, it's a huge hub. And so if these companies are feeling more pressure from tariffs, they have to pay more money, it's thinning their margins. They might not renew a lease, maybe not right now, but they're certainly not going to expand.
Yeah.
I've heard this with other builders saying, well, it's not like we're going to stop working, but we aren't going to take any big risks either. And so the overall message is sort of like they're just taking caution.
That was Seth Bodine with the Dallas Business Journal, speaking with KERA's Bekah Morr. Last night saw the Rangers wallop the Athletics 15-2. The first 5 innings were normal enough, with the Rangers scoring just 4 runs. That's before they exploded for 8 more in the 6th. The most surprising stat of the night, though, might be that none of the Rangers' 18 hits were home runs. And tonight starts the round of 32 in the U.S. Open Cup. FC Dallas will be taking on AV Alta FC. Kickoff is at 7. Titus hosts the all-male troupe Les Ballets Trocadero de Monte Carlo for 2 shows Friday and Saturday at Moody Performance Hall in Dallas. The group parodies classic ballet with comedy and has been called the love child of Carol Burnett and Rudolf Nureyev. To see details and more arts events, head to the Go See DFW calendar at keranews.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague, Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Thank you, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.